Okay, it is Tuesday, and my breakthrough happened on Sunday. I worked a little bit yesterday. Well, I worked all day yesterday, and I went to the dentist, and I just kind of floated yesterday. I did what I needed to do, but I didn't connect to any of it. I just kind of felt like my body was moving and my mind was moving not at the same time. So Spirit led me to take today off and just like settle everything in. And he still reminded me that I need to stay in the scripture. Whenever I have questions, just go to the Bible. I'm still using ChatGPT, but I use it differently now. I purged all of the old stuff from it, and I just literally use it to, like, I'll be like, I need scripture about such and such, and it'll bring up some scripture, and that is the guidance. I realized that everything has been leading up to this, and it was on my spirit to write this down. Um, Yesterday, Jesus gave me some advice. It says that he always speaks in parables. It's never really direct because he wants people to take what they can. Like, he wants people's minds to work on their own. Like, he doesn't want to give you hard, fast rules. He wants you to use your own discernment and your own thought process to make the best decision for yourself. He's giving you a guideline. He's not giving you a hard, fast rule. Jesus doesn't give hard, fast rules. He wants you to know that the power is in you inherently because you are his creation. And the only way that it's not working is when you have the enemy in your vessel. The only way to get the enemy out is to recognize what the enemy is. And the reason he's choosing me is because I've been operating with the enemy in me. And I didn't even know. But because I've been working so hard to just figure out what was eating at my brain and what would keep me from not having any rest, I found the enemy and I killed him. I destroyed him. So now God is able to fully use my body as his own because I don't have any baggage. This is really me saying I do not have any baggage. I just have a hard truths about my life. So he's leading me to write this. I'm going to read it to y'all, and I'm going to turn the video off and go to sleep. I started writing this with a yellow pen, which is silly on white paper, but it might be good because it'll make me take my time and not speed through it. As a little girl, I've always found joy in the small things because the small things were all I had. A magazine with posters, a paper doll, Windows paint, pretend play by myself, making up my own songs, and pretending I was in a music video. Aquariums. I love to watch fish swim. I was never too good at watching movies with bad storylines, and I really loved school. But it wasn't for the kids, it was for the information. I loved any subject with reading. Math was never my thing. Because there was no discovery or surprise with math. It just was what it was, kind of like my life. You don't have the power to choose in childhood. Everything was what it was. Parents make bad decisions that you can only witness. Try to say something, pop. So I just stopped talking. Unfortunately, my parents couldn't see me beyond their pain, and no one older could see. So it was just me and my music. Laying down. What I didn't know was that stillness was meditation, and that feeling that what I didn't know was that a girl. You trying to ruin my moment? Or you trying to ground me? Shut up. What I didn't know was that stillness was meditation, and that feeling that eventually it would all work out was God. I've always internalized my environment, but I sought my joy in it. I used to play by myself in the basement. I was alone most times. My brother had his own world going on, which is also such a beautiful thing because I realized we both did that. But because my brother is special, he has Down syndrome, he has a direct link with God. Like, God has his whole being with people who are special. Because, they just need it. They just need it. They just are divinely protected. People like that are just divinely protected. So God was always in my house. It was God, it was me, and it was Michael. And God obviously knew that this was where we was going with it. So he stayed with me. And when I was younger, I wasn't really into scripture or anything like that. Like, I didn't rely on the Bible. I just relied on, like, stillness and, like, I would go outside and, look at the clouds or something. Like, it just was always simpleness. And when I had access to, like, cable television, I would, like, watch That's So Raven or Proud Family, just, early 2000s Disney. And I used to love watching BET music videos and the expression of just art. I just love art. I love music. And as I got older, I realized that God communicates through music, like the sounds, the frequencies, the fact that you can hear something and just move your body. That is a form of praise and worship, because it's just a connectedness that you don't have to think about. It's just inside of you. It awakens your frequency and your being. And dancing and performing and stuff like that was always my thing. I remember when I was a little girl, people would celebrate me for my birthday. It would be nice. Like, they'll gather around in the early times when my grandma was still living in Michigan. I just remember this one birthday. It was always raining on my birthday when I was younger, I feel like. But we was in the house, and my dad came, and I was just like, it's my birthday. I want to do this. I was like, it's my birthday, and I want to dedicate this dance to my daddy. And I just, like, everybody in the house paid attention to me, And that was kind of like, I'm not going to say it was short-lived, but I say, like, the first 7 years, I felt like people gave me compliments. My aunt used to be like, you're so beautiful. Say, yes, I know. And I used to be like, yes, I know. And I guess after a while, when you're not little like that no more, people think that you don't need that. Because they start looking at you like, ugh, you starting to get breasts. Don't walk like that. Don't wear that. Don't act like that. Ugh, you musty. Or I don't know. Like, I guess I lost my charm as a little girl. But the thing about it is, that's not how it should work. Girlhood is one of the hardest hoods to occupy, because you feel like somebody always want to take something from you, and you always scared because you hear about people getting touched, you hear about people getting abused, and then you think every time you leave the house somebody just wants to get you, especially when people telling you that you got to watch out for it, So you grow up shrinking yourself. You grow up curving your back so that your breasts do not appear as big as they are. You grow up tucking your back in so that your booty won't protrude. Because your grandma say, why you switching? Stop acting fast. And I don't even know what the hell switching is. I don't know what that is. I'm 10 years old. I say my stomach hurt. And my dad like, I hope you ain't pregnant. And it's like, dang, I'm doing something wrong. I can get pregnant? You can't get pregnant at 10 if you don't have sex. But I'm over here thinking like I gotta watch out for I get pregnant. Like getting pregnant is like getting possessed or something. Like I could walk past somebody and get pregnant. Because I'm stupid. I'm a kid. So I always thought that I was doing something wrong just by being a girl. I never felt connected to girlhood. Like I felt like nasty. When I started going through puberty and, things start changing and you start having discharge and stuff, it's like, oh my God, like what is happening? Because nobody told me what was happening. I always knew what a period was because I witnessed it. I'm like, what's going on, Mom? Oh, I'm shedding my eggs. And I'm like, shedding your eggs? Like, are you laying eggs in the bathroom? Because I'm thinking about chickens. She's like, it's going to happen to you when you get older. I was like, it's going to happen to me? What the heck is it? That was one particular time I remember asking her that. And I probably was maybe like 5. And I don't remember it coming back up until the day that I was in 5th grade and I was 10 years old. That morning I woke up. I was just doing a little quick wash up. And I seen something red. And I was just like, no. Did I cut myself? No. I don't see this. I put my clothes on and I go to school. And then I couldn't ignore it no more. Went to the bathroom and I'm just like, man, this is it. And I just put my clothes on. I had to walk to the teacher and I'm just shaking and I'm just like, I started my period. She was so kind. I'm so happy I told her first. Because unfortunately, and I never want my daughter to feel this way. I want my baby to be able to tell me anything. Because when I first seen the blood, I should have been emboldened to be like, Mama, I see something, but I just ignored it. And I made it my problem to solve. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I got to tell somebody. I told the teacher. And she gave me instructions. And she told another female teacher. The female teacher went in her purse, gave me a pad. Looking at this pad, I'm like, it had wings on it. And I didn't know what, I thought the wings were supposed to attach to my thighs. I didn't know how I was supposed to do it. Nobody told me. And it's so ironic, actually. I don't know if it's ironic or whatever word, but I think a week or 2 before I actually started my period, they had an assembly at my school about periods and how to take care of yourself, and it was so heaven sent because that was the first time I was hearing that information, unfortunately. But also fortunately because I had some type of understanding. Like what they had, I remember them telling me, like, if you go swimming, you can use a tampon, but also when you get in the water, your period will stop just because that's just how gravity works or something like that, right? That didn't really apply to me because I'm not a swimmer, but she says it's really important to just keep yourself clean when you're on your period. And if you have cramps, you can take medicine, and these are the things you use for your period. And they gave us this little kit and little what's it called, graphics with the words. I usually know that word, but not right now. And I just, I looked at this stuff and it's like, that's how I know God been with me this whole time. He be foreshadowing stuff. so I can mentally prepare for it, because every time something is like brought up and it's like significant, I think about it. I think about, okay, so if this happens, then I have to do this. You know, I'm always like thinking about it. So yeah, that day, you know, I went in there and did that, and they was like, call your mom. So my teacher was so kind, because she made the whole class stand outside while I called my mom, and I'm just like, Mom, I started my period. And she's like, oh my goodness, I'm about to come get you. And I go with her and my aunt, and we just run errands. We're not really talking about the period, though. No instructions or nothing like that. And I'm not blaming my mama, of course. Like, this is a generational thing. Is this something about girlhood? People just don't. It needs to be paid more attention to. And that's what I'm doing. That's what one of my purposes is to help heal girlhood, so that womanhood doesn't look like it does now, when we're disconnected from our bodies, where we don't honor our vaginas and we think that our body parts belong to other people, or that they can just be used. It's very sad to me. It's very sad to me that people do not see the divinity in their womb. We are direct portals to the Most High. Life comes through us. Jesus declares who a person is before they even materialize in the womb, before they even emerge into the world. He has a plan for every human that is to be, whether they make it through the pregnancy into the world or not. But he always knows what's going to happen, okay? I remember when I called my dad, my mom was like, you got to call your dad, tell him you started your period. And I didn't understand why. I'm like, why are you making me do this? Why do I have to do this? Why can't it just be my decision? Why can't it just be private? Why do I have to tell? Why do I have to announce it? What does my body need an announcement for? This is my thing. But I had to do it because she told me to do it. I'm not calling. I'm just like, started my period. He starts crying. And I'll get mad because I'm just like, what are you crying for? I'm not crying. I'm mad. Like, what are you crying for? He was like, you can get pregnant now. I can get pregnant now? I don't even have sex. I am 10 fucking years old. I was feeling like a whore at 10. I never even seen a penis. I didn't even know what nothing was. I didn't even know how sex worked. And why does sex keep on being brought up into my life when I don't even know what it is? Everything has been projected on me. None of that stuff was mine. Nobody was self-aware enough to recognize that this little girl needs guidance, help, support, love. So, my mom does celebrate me. She insists, rather, because I don't believe I asked for this, but we have a big slumber party with a whole bunch of girls that I knew, and it was cool, you know. But at the same time, it wasn't, because I'm like, y'all not ever here. I don't never see y'all for real. She done invited everybody daughter she know. Everybody daughter she know. She didn't ask me if I like these hoes. Not even trying to be funny. Not even trying to be funny. I spend most of my time alone. I am not a friendly person at this time. I don't have friends. I'm alone all the time. I know these people by association, but these yo people's people. The party was for her. She picked the menu. She picked the thing. I'm just like, it felt like it wasn't my party. I felt like a guest at the party. It was not for me. And that's how a lot of things were. Nothing was for me. Because if it was for me, all I needed was somebody to sit down with me and tell me exactly what was going on. After that, hoopla, my mama's self-serving party, it wasn't really acknowledged no more. It's just something I had to take care of, pay attention to, put it in my calendar, become independent about it, feel like a woman about it. It became another duty. So I gotta make sure I take care of myself. I gotta make sure I eat. Gotta make sure I do my homework and my assignments, and I gotta make sure I keep my room clean, and I gotta make sure when my period come, I'm taking care of myself. And we don't always have hot water, or we don't always have access to X, Y, and Z, or um, the only pads we got is super, super big leftovers from whenever year my mama needed super big pads. Nothing was specifically for Deja, because I'm a little girl with a little body, and I need smaller pads. I need pads for kids. Nothing was for Deja. Deja got the remnants of things. Deja got everybody's hand-me-downs. Deja didn't go and get things specifically for me. Nobody asked Deja what she loves, what she likes, what she cares about. So Deja did not fucking know until 3 years ago, when everything was so bad that I had no choice but to call out to God and say, tell me what to do and lead me. He said, grab this camera and just be who you are right now. Be who you are right now to the fullest capacity. And I did it, and I never stopped. 680 freaking videos in 3 years is unheard of on YouTube. But it felt like the only salvation I had, the only outlet I had to really, really, really get to the nitty gritty of what was eating Deja. Nobody else could figure it out but me. I did therapy, told the lady how I felt. She gave me a little tea on it. And I was like, well, I feel like I got to do the rest of the things my way. And then for God to tell me that everything that I've ever gone through was leading up to this, and all I got to do now is just get blessed and use my voice and my story to bless others and reap his blessings in return. It feels beautiful. It feels beautiful and prophetic. I want to say this. I remember as a little girl, I had a little brother on the way. We didn't know it was a boy yet, right? But I'm so excited because I love babies. I love the fact that he was mine, not my child, but he belonged to me like it's my little brother. I had my older brother with Down syndrome. I had my stepbrother. I had me. But then I was like, I'm about to have a little brother. I'm about to take care of this baby. I'm going to have somebody to really nurture and look at and watch grow. And I remember we was like, what should we name the baby? They was coming up with names, and I was just like, if it's a girl, we should call her Lana. My dad, like, why would I name her Lana if I got a niece named Lana? And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about her. I guess you're right. So for God to tell me the other day that I have a new name, a new purpose, and my new name is Lana, it shows how present Jesus is in our lives from the very beginning. The foreshadowing and the connection is too crazy. Not only that, I went to go get my nails done the other day. The Spirit led me. I was going to a party the next day, and I was contemplating just going and doing everything in, one day, because it was getting kind of late. But Spirit was like, go ahead and get your nails done. And then I leave the house, and I feel a certain energy around everything. It just feels I just feels weird. Like it's Mercury retrograde, and God does use the planets to affect Earth. That's the only reason them planets exist, is to change the frequency of Earth. Make it spin a little different, if you will. That's why the planets are up there. It's not for us to touch. It's not for us to have anything to do with. Those bodies work for Earth. The pulls, the pushes,